just finished reading Vinland Saga, and let's talk about it. Vinland Saga, it is one of the greatest pieces of fiction ever written in media, and that's not even glazing, that's just a baseline fact. It is truly a beautiful series, and to see it end, it is a very bittersweet feeling, because on one hand, it is good to see that a series as great as this one had an ending that is satisfactory for what it was. At the same time, though, it is also very sad to know that this series that is so amazing, it has ended, because this is one of the favorite things I've ever read, I've ever witnessed, ever experienced. And to know that it was ending did not make the fact that it has ended any less easier. Also, if you know the history, Vinland Saga, it is a somewhat historical, realistic fiction, and it does follow the events of real life, and knowing those events, it's like the ending was coming. At the same time, though, you still don't want to see it. Thorfinn Karlsefni, he is my favorite protagonist in all of anime manga, and it's not even very close. He has surpassed the likes for me of Goku, Gintoki, Joseph. If you name another protagonist, I'm gonna say Thorfinn is better than him, or her, better than them. You can pull up your Musashi, you can pull up your Guts, I'm gonna say Thorfinn is better. Thorfinn, he's one of my favorite characters of all time, but it doesn't just stop there, because characters like Askeladd and Thorkel and Einar, I just love them as well too. This series deals with themes of the horrors of war and what it truly means to be a pacifist and a warrior, and I think the way it does those things is just done so well. One of my favorite moments that really showcases the horrors of war has to be during the Baltic Sea arc. This is manga only, it has not been animated, but there is a moment where there is a Viking who's talking about the glory of Valhalla and how he can't wait to die in battle because he wants to be carried by the Valkyries. And then this Viking is in a battle and is lying on the floor. And as he's lying on the floor, he's reminiscing about his life. He's in his final moments of life, and he's waiting for the Valkyries to come, only to never see them. A man whose entire belief was to die in battle, only to die in battle and never get his wish, really does showcase how when people are in war, they're just irrational. And that was just one of my favorite moments, because yes, it's a very horrifying moment, but it really showcases that war is something that is often glorified in many movies and TV shows and all that stuff, but it really should never be. And then in the case of Thorfinn and pacifism and what it means to be a warrior, I really like how this series really showcases that Thorfinn's ideas, they are very much flawed and he has to confront them. When talking about radical ideas, oftentimes they are seen in a negative light. Oh, when you're radical, you take things too far to the point that you're the bad guy. But Thorfinn, he has a radical ideology but is the protagonist and is seen as a good thing. Thorfinn, he goes to the extremes when it comes to his idea of pacifism, and the problem with that is that when he's confronted with a problem that he cannot solve, he does not know what to do, to the point that other characters, they have to suffer the consequences. There is one moment in the manga where Canute, he has to pretty much commit genocide to a village that is spreading a sickness, and he is burning down all the bodies. And this solution that Canute has, it is a very horrifying solution, but it is a necessary one for the betterment of the entire civilization. If you have a rampant disease, you have to stop that disease, and Canute, he did it in the most effective but most horrifying way possible. And Canute, he wondered that if Thorfinn was put in this position, what would Thorfinn do? Because Thorfinn's idea of pacifism, these sick people, he cannot get rid of them, but at the same time though, these people, they are suffering constantly. So these people that are suffering constantly and are begging for death, and if they don't do that, they might spread the disease to other people and just wipe out other people. What would Thorfinn do to solve this problem? This question, it never does get answered, because Thorfinn, he's never put into a problem of this sickness that Canute has. But it does showcase that Thorfinn's ideology, as good as it is, as much as you want to strive to be it, it cannot solve everything. I just love how this series has many clashing ideologies, and even though it strives for one ideology, that being Thorfinn's ideology of pacifism, it is never the clear-cut answer, and there's a lot of nuance to it. This video, it is almost 4 minutes long. I am pretty sure most of y'all haven't even gone to this point, but I could go on even more, but I just won't. Vinland Saga, this is one of my favorite things ever. I love this series so much, and now to see it end, I'm very sad to see this end, because it is such a good series. I love Vinland Saga, 10 out of 10. Thorfinn, he's one of my favorite characters of all time. Everybody, y'all should experience the story because it is just that good.